Hey everyone, welcome to Primary Market Chatter brought to you by Sunday Investing. This is our May 3rd week IPOs edition. This is our first episode after I think March 3rd week. So we have been on a slight hiatus of 2 months. Not because we didn't want to review companies, but because there was not a lot of IPOs which were coming in, especially on the main board side. Now that there is some inkling that IPOs would come back and make a return, we are also kind of back with our reviews. And today should be a short and sweet episode. We just have three IPOs to review. Before I set up the agenda, just want to highlight two discretionary points, which I kind of do in all the calls. We are not SEBI registered research analysts, so do not take what we say on face value. आप अपना research खुद से करें. Just think of whatever our opinion is that is not qualified in any way. So definitely keep that in mind. Second thing which I want to definitely highlight is that if you haven't joined our YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and do that. I see my YouTube पे कुछ 4500 subscribers हैं. So if you haven't joined, please go ahead and do that. We would want to hit a 5K on that soon. So it's up to you to make it hit 5K. मैं link जो है उसका space में ऊपर share कर दिया है मैंने. So you should be able to see it. What I'll also do is once we complete the space, we will record it and put it on our YouTube as well. ताकि आप you can listen to these companies' review at your own leisure. Now, setting up the agenda for the day, we will start with so we had two SME IPOs and two mainboard IPOs to review. It seems that one of them is now postponed. The SME IPO Victory Electric Vehicles has been postponed because they had some litigation which they hadn't told in the DRHP or the RHP. So it is now postponed. So we just have three IPOs to cover: Borana, Weaves, and then Belrise Industries, and then one SME IPO, Dar Credit. What we also understand is that there was one more SME, which is a huge size SME, Unified, which is ending on next Monday. So उसका भी अगर हम आज कवर नहीं करेंगे तो अगले संडे को करेंगे तो क्योंकि पैसे उसके लिए यूज नहीं हो पाएंगे. So we'll try and do a sneak peek of that as well. In terms of the order, we'll start with Dar Credit and Capital and then do a very quick sneak peek of Unified and then do a proper review next time. And then to kind of also then move to the two main board companies per se. Just getting now started setting up Dar Capital, Dar Credit and Capital. It's an NBFC that primarily does three types of financial products: personal loans, secured MSME loans, and unsecured MSME loans. It has like 27 branches and some 25,000 active customers and has a AUM of like 180 CR. In terms of the IPO, the company is bringing its IPO of 26 crores, 26 करोड़ का IPO है. मार्केट कैप जिस पे कंपनी ला रही है वो 86 करोड़ है. सो 86 करोड़ पे कंपनी 26 करोड़ रुपए और रेज कर रही है. इन टर्म्स ऑफ FY24 फाइनेंशियल्स कंपनी ने 33 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू किया है, 33 CR का, एंड पैट है 4 CR का. सो FY24 PE देखोगे आप तो अराउंड 21 होगा, बट अगेन दिस इज NBFC तो हमें PE नहीं देखना है, हमें PB देखना है, which we'll talk about. I'll let Yash kind of cover that when he covers it. In terms of the LM is GYR Capital. So with that, over to you, Yash, to talk about Dar Credit.
Sure, Manish. So, Manish, this will be a very short review of Dar Capital. So, the company primarily offers three financial products. The first one is personal loans. The second is unsecured MSME loans. The third is secured MSME loans. So, the main focus is in offering credit solutions to low-income individuals, which are particularly the class 4 or group D employment uh, citizens, such as cleaners, sweepers, and workers which are working in municipalities. The branch offices are across West Bengal, Rajasthan, Bihar, Jharkhand, and also the other offices which are set up are in Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. So, as far as the company, their AUM as of 31st December was close to 177 crores and a net worth of almost 69 crores. And the company maintains a strong capital to risk asset ratio of 39% and a debt to equity of 2.7, which is quite high as per me. Also, if I talk about the revenue bifurcation, so personal loans almost consist of 32%, and unsecured MSME loans consist of 49%, and the secured MSME loans are 7.2%, and the rest is 11% processing fees, interest on FDs, and business facilitation and commission income. So I'll talk about first segment, which is the personal loan, जिसमें इनका ticket size is close to 50,000 to 5 lakh, and tenure रहता है इसमें 36 to 60 months का. Rate of interest is almost for the three categories are almost in a similar lines. Personal loans में it is 20.20 से 24% तक. Then if I talk about unsecured MSME loans, तो उसमें भी company offers loans with a ticket size of 10,000 to 2 lakh with a repayment term up to 1 year and interest rates ranging from 25.5 to 27%. If I talk about the secured loans, which is again the ticket size of 50,000 to 5 lakhs, जिसमें tenure is close to 3 years, which is 36 months, and rate of interest is again the similar lines, 24 to 27%. तो इनका जो cost of borrowing है is close to 15-16% right now, जिसके ऊपर ये आगे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं 20 से लेके 27% तक. अभी पर्सनल लोन में इनका प्रोसेस क्या होता है कि इन्होंने टाई अप कर रखा है विद म्युनिसिपैलिटीज. तो जो भी इनके लोन प्रोडक्ट्स हैं that are accessible by those who are working there, and additionally जो पार्टनरशिप है म्युनिसिपैलिटीज के साथ वो क्या करता है कि स्ट्रीमलाइन कर देता है वेरिफिकेशन प्रोसेस, बिकॉज many of their customers are the people who are working there. Then this is the first process. The second process is कि ये लोग बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन चेक वगैरह कराते हैं, तो उसमें म्युनिसिपैलिटीज प्लेज अ बिगर रोल क्योंकि टाई अप हो रखा है एंड बैकग्राउंड चेक वगैरह इजीली हो जाता है. थर्ड इज जस्ट द डिसबर्समेंट इनटू कस्टमर्स बैंक अकाउंट. MSME loans वगैरह में भी they operate with the network of 27 branches. तो ये जो 27 branches है इनका strategically located है in the rural and semi urban areas, जिससे क्या होता है कि बहुत deeper penetration कर पाते हैं ये लोग communities में, and this is the network which plays a vital role in connecting the customers जिनके पास बहुत limited access है, जिनको और कोई मेजर NBFC लोन नहीं दे रहा है, तो उनको ये लोग लोन प्रोवाइड करते हैं SMEs वगैरह में. तो सिक्योरिटी इज ऑल्सो सिमिलर थिंग, बट उसमें क्या है कि उसमें कोलैटरल वगैरह रखते हैं ये लोग. सो द पॉइंट इज कि ऑल्दो दिस लुक्स लाइक कि ऑलमोस्ट 80% 70% इज अनसिक्योर्ड, बट क्या होता है कि इनका जो टाइप्स वगैरह हैं, जैसे म्युनिसिपैलिटीज का टाइप है, एंड अगेन जो इन्होंने बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन चेक किया होता है उसके बेसिस पे ही जब ये लोन डिसबर्स करते हैं तो EMI वगैरह सेटअप हो जाता है, जिसकी वजह से देयर NPAs आर नॉट मच हायर, एंड जो डिडक्शन होता है वो सैलरी आते ही हो जाता है. तो जैसे पर्सनल लोन पे डायरेक्ट डिडक्शन होता है EMI का बोरोवर्स की सैलरी से, फॉर अनसिक्योर्ड लोन देयर इज वीकली, फोर्टनाइटली एंड मंथली एज पर कस्टमर्स का चॉइस. एक इनैक मैंडेट करके होता है एंड उसके थ्रू ऑनलाइन पेमेंट कर सकते हैं वो लोग चेक या कार्ड से. देन सिक्योर्ड लोन में तो फ्रीक्वेंसी सिमिलर टू इज अनसिक्योर्ड लोन्स में जैसा होता है, मंथली कर सकते हैं, फोर्टनाइटली कर सकते हैं, चॉइसेस उनका होता है. सिमिलर प्रोसेस यूज करा जाता है, इसमें भी इनैक मैंडेट होता है, ऑनलाइन पेमेंट ऐप के थ्रू कर सकते हैं, चेक या कार्ड कैश के थ्रू कर सकते हैं. बट तो इसकी वजह से क्या है, इनका ग्रॉस NPA इज नॉट मच हायर. FY 23-24 में was 0.55% gross NPA, net NPA was 0.35%. Then December में it increased to close to 1% gross NPA and net NPA 0.59% के आसपास, which is again due to increase in customers and थोड़ा aggressive होके grow करा है. The company has grown very decently in last many years. धीरे धीरे करके they are growing their AUM. Also जो इनका फ्यूचर टारगेट है, they plan to or they have an ambition to grow their AUM to 500 crores in next 3 to 4 years, which is again decent growth. तो इसी basis पे I like to conclude that this this is a very small company, and SMEs में NBFC and microfinance are somewhat risky. So I would say play for short term or just apply it for the listing gains, and then उसमें I feel 20-25% listing pop मिल जाना चाहिए, and then one should see or maybe exit at that time.
Got it. Thanks, Yash. काफी डिटेल रिव्यू था. You said 2 minutes, so I was really hoping कि just cover it in 2 minutes. But yeah, thanks for covering that. मेरे को एक दो pointers हैं जो इस पे add करने. So I had attended the promoter call as well, which had happened, and found the promoters to be very genuine. It's a CA-driven company. Company में 3-4 CA. The founder Ramesh ji is also a seasoned CA with like 30 years of experience, which is good. एक और अच्छी बात ये थी कि इनके डिबेंचर्स ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड है ऑन BSE. they have raised debt in the past, like 7 crore in the raise ki around 12% pe, which is why their cost of capital is like somewhere around 15%. So their debentures are raised, like उसमें उन्होंने debentures भी raise किए, तो they are already accustomed to doing quarterly reporting because उनको उसके लिए quarterly करनी ही पड़ती है, right? So you can expect this company will continue to do quarterly reporting, which is a good thing, I would want to say. Other than that, the company has good presence. क्योंकि ये क्या है, छोटे लोगों को मतलब जिनका छोटा टिकट साइज है उनको लोन दे रहे हैं, राइट? एज यश मेंशन, विच इज लाइक उसमें भी 180 करोड़ की अगर इनने वो बना लिए लोन बुक बना ली अपनी एयूएम, तो इट्स अ बिग आस्क बिकॉज इट इज अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल, लाइक 25,000 पीपल, एंड एनपीए भी इनका उसी की वजह से कम है. I feel majorly one challenge which I want to highlight, in fact, two is one is the growth, क्योंकि क्योंकि बहुत ऑप्स हैवी धंधा है, टच पॉइंट्स बहुत ज्यादा हैं, तो इसमें क्योंकि जैसे ही कंपनी बड़ी होती है तो दे वुड वांट टू गिव मोर लोन्स, राइट? इवन इफ इट कम्स एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ गिविंग इट स्लाइटली लोअर इंटरेस्ट एंड अर्निंग लोअर निम. बट इसमें क्या है, क्योंकि बहुत छोटे छोटे कस्टमर्स को टारगेट कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए इसकी ग्रोथ comparatively I'm not sure ki kaise hogi, but at least they have plans. Like they were mentioning that right now the net worth is somewhere around 75 cr, and जैसे ही वो ये 25 करोड़ रेस करेंगे जो augment capital base को करेगा, so their net worth will become 100 cr, which will make them eligible to lend up to 4x. Like वो 4 गुना लोन lend कर सकते हैं, तो वो 400 करोड़ तक lend कर सकते हैं, and their target is making the AUM 500 cr by the next 3 4 years, so which is good. At least they have target. So I think it's a good company. It's coming very cheap. I feel ये 0.9 पीबी पे आ रही है अराउंड, लाइक क्योंकि इसका मार्केट कैप अराउंड 85 है, एंड नेट वर्थ आफ्टर IPOs around 99, around 100 CR, I feel, somewhere around that. So it's coming along cheap. So that's a good thing. One bad thing, probably, or not bad, is essentially needs to be figured out is the consistency, like business continuation. The promoter seems slightly old to me. So, like he mentioned that they want to make the company professionally driven and have brought in CFO and COO who are also qualified, and they should be able to manage the company. But that's something which I wanted to highlight. So that is some few pointers which I wanted to add on with respect to Dar Credit. I feel it should do well, especially because it's uske debentures already listed hai, so I get some confidence on that front as well. I'll be applying to this issue, and I might also choose it over the other company, Unified Data, क्योंकि उसमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि it might have a crazy subscription just like virtual Galaxy which opened. But yeah, that is what my read was. Tanmay, do you have anything to add, or we can move to the next company now?
Yes, actually, I just wanted to add that point of, the ticket size and the average tenure of the loans. So, they serve to the, this 50,000 से लेके 3 lakh is their, average ticket size, and the time duration of for their loans or credit is ranging from like 6 months to 6 months to 2 years. And the management has also said that they're aspiring, not aspiring, they are, on the path to go into the MSME loans, which will, fuel further growth. And as this company, this company has the debentures listed. So this company, 99.9% will give the quarterly result. And, I have personally, requested the management also to provide month-on-month AUM update. So if the management is vocal about that, so investors will have a better communication from the company so that the consistency remains. So overall, I felt the company is quite good. So if I just net worth and the new capital, if I just remove the issue expenses, which I expect to be around 15%, तो मोटा मोटी one time book value पे आ रही is is not expensive. It's cheap only. So I feel there is a good comfort there to apply. But I would say majority investor, including me, would go just for listing gains because I'm already holding some NBFC, so not intending to go into one more for long term. So I would be applying this.
Got it. Thanks, Tanmay, for adding that. With that, we have covered dark credit. We will move forward and just do a very brief, एक छोटा सा glimpse कर लेते हैं of Unified Data Solutions. Just want to highlight it's closing next week on Monday. आई ऑन May 26th, बट क्योंकि जो पैसा आप डार क्रेडिट में यूज करेंगे वो जैसे वो यूनिफाइड डेटा में वापस यूज नहीं होगा. सो मे बी Rohit, do you want to go ahead and talk about unified data at a very high level, what the company does? I saw it's a big OFS, which seemed like a cause of concern for me. Like it's a 150 CRIP, all of which is OFS. So maybe do you want to go ahead and talk about it, about the company a bit? Before that, just want to highlight if someone has joined us for the first time, ऊपर YouTube channel का link है. We will post this page there as well, so you can kind of cover the details there and listen at your own leisure as well. Over to you, Rohit, to talk about unified data.
Thanks, Manish. So this is not a review. This is just a very quick glimpse of what they do and couple of points that people can keep in mind if they want to save money for this company. We'll actually do the review next week. But this company, like Manish said, is a very large, so it's a very large issue, 150 crore. All of it is OFS, which is quite unusual in SME. I think under the new rules that have just been announced, this should not be possible going forward. So maybe this is the last time we'll see such a large OFS in SME. This company is a system integrator. So they do two things. They do your traditional IT consulting, IT services consulting, and they also are a product reseller for these, say security systems, data virtualization, some of these hybrid cloud kind of systems. These are products that maybe some of your large companies like say an IBM, a Veritas, Cisco, these guys will have products that need to be sold and integrated to in local businesses. Let's say a bank is running, they want to say upgrade their security infrastructure. And an IBM product cannot just directly be plugged and played inside a bank. Someone has to actually do the work of integrating it with a bank system. So selling this IBM product and integrating with the bank system, that is what these guys do. And they do it across many different product categories. It could be, like I said, it could be around cloud. It could be around security, cyber security. It could be around VPN. So there's a lot of different things where this kind of work is done. This is slightly more niche work. This is not the kind of IT work that can be eaten up by AI, for example, which is a fear that many people have. Because this kind of integration work, someone has to do because there is a legacy system on one side and there is a system from an IBM on the other side. And putting these two together, it has to be done, by people. This company has very large revenues. You see that revenues 200, 300 crore, and hardly any employees, like I think 30 odd employees, which is basically a sign that these are high ticket products that they are buying, say, from an IBM and reselling it forward. So don't get swayed by the very high revenue numbers of these companies. These companies will tend to have fairly thin margins. So even this company actually has a 4-5% kind of fat margin only. There were two things that I found interesting, or I'd say noteworthy. One is this company had very interesting pre-IPO done 10 days ago at a 15% discount to the IPO price. It was done by three, well-known stalwarts. One is Mr. Sunil Singhania. It was done by Mr. Mukul Mahavir Agarwal and Mr. Vikas Khemani. So clearly there is some pedigree in this company that got these very, very high quality investors to put in and lock in money for the next 1 year. This company has also had a slightly strange revenue pattern where they've grown exponentially in FY24, but it clearly looks like FY25 will be a solid step down. They've given 11-month numbers, but probably a 20% degrowth. And the third thing is the PAT number for this year, which is higher than last year, despite lower numbers, is because there is some not exceptional, but there is other income. And the biggest chunk of that other income, there's a 6 crore other income, which is coming just from sale of some shares and securities, which are basically some mutual funds or whatever it is that they would have liquidated, which is where they're keeping their excess cash. So that PE multiple of, which looks like 15, 16, is actually closer to 20. Peers generally get between 20 and 30 in the Mainboard. The best one gets about 30. So I actually don't think once you give an SME discount, I don't think this should actually have the kind of GMP that it has. I think I saw GMP at 200 rupees at one point. And I wouldn't be surprised if this does not list very strongly. It might actually list just marginally above. It's also a very, very large issue. But there is a decent chance of allotment. Plus, I think at the IPO price, given the price at which the pre-IPOs happened, I think the IPO price is safe for the short term for people who like to sort of flip on listing. So it's an interesting company, interesting space, not not exactly cheap because of this boosted other income due to the sale of shares. And therefore, I am not when I first saw it and I looked at what they were doing, I was quite excited. But I feel it is actually fairly priced. If it's at 20 times FY25, it is very much fairly priced. So I'm not expecting actually huge upside. I think in a way I've almost covered the company, but yeah, these were the two, three things that I wanted to highlight. Can talk about it in more detail next week.
Yeah, one thing, Rohit, which I wanted to highlight. So I was looking at their the sale of investments which they have done. So they also still hold like cash and cash equivalent of like 94 CR, right? So
Correct, correct. They
maybe
have
it's
a
a good
very good
idea
balance
to
sheet.
reduce that amount when we are calculating PE, right? Because उसका cash तो है company पे ना, right?
यार SME investors ऐसे करते नहीं. There are enough companies that are trading at like, if you net off cash, they'll be trading at 3-4 times PE multiples. But like even what we do, right? When say a company's commit 100 crore multiple pre-money and 130 crore post-money, we do all our math on 130 crore, not
Yeah.
on 100 plus 30 cash, because the 30 cash has just come in. So it is technically cash in the company, but we still do all our multiples on 130. So that though doesn't work, I think, in SMA.
Got it. No, I was looking at their investment and I was seeing ki some 21 CR over last to last year has became 70 CR last year.
Yeah, it is basically
That would
all
be
the
crazy.
profit. See, this is a
Yeah.
highly profitable company, superb cash flow. It's like most IT companies, usually they'll be profitable, they'll have excellent cash flows, they'll have a very strong balance sheet. So none of these things are, I mean, all of these are present in this company also. Uh, how much, people value that, in my view, an SME is questionable, and generally IT companies and SME don't do that well. So this company is good. It's interesting, definitely. But I think it is almost fairly priced, actually. If you take out the profit from sale of shares, it is absolutely fairly priced. Otherwise, it's coming at 15, 16. If you look at that, then you could say, okay, there is some upside. But that is not the right PE multiples. That's why I feel it is reasonably fairly valued on it.
Got it. But you would say that shouldn't compare this company with, let's say, capital numbers of the world and etc. Not wanting to
No,
make
no, definitely, definitely,
a
definitely. They're
slight
very,
photo.
very different. Very different companies, extremely different companies. This company actually does have some capabilities that are unique and capabilities that are, in a way, protected from this whole AI future. Orient Technologies that came recently, I think, is a very, very good peer. That trades at 28, 29 times. But that's a main board, certain amount of hype. So yeah, I don't think this will get the same multiple. That's probably the maximum multiple this can get.
Got it. Although this does have some star investors in it, so that would be also interesting to watch. We'll see how it evolves. Everyone to kind of keep. We'll try and do a although काफी हमने cover तो कर ही लिया honestly company, but we'll see how much we want to cover it in the next episode if we have a next episode if there are more IPOs. But yeah, with that we have covered Unified Data as well, and we'll move over to the two main board companies. We'll talk about one small raise which is very similar to SME raise but coming on main board by SMELM. We'll first start with Borana Weaves. It's a 2020 started Surat-based company, manufactures unbleached synthetic gray fabric, textile की ये company. So basically, fabric बनाती है unbleached जो कि then used for processing in different industries like dyeing, printing वगैरह के लिए. In terms of the setting up the IPO, it's a 145 CR IPO, 145 crore का IPO है, all of which is a fresh issue. It's coming at a market cap of 575 crores. So 575 करोड़ पे 150 करोड़ कंपनी रेस कर रही है. In terms of revenue, FY24 they did 200 CR with top line और PAT था इनका कुछ 24 करोड़ का 24 CR का. So they are priced at like 25 times. Uh, yeah, 20, 23 into 20. Approximately around that number. FY24, FY25 में देखते हैं क्या number है. Because I'm like should look at all companies at least at FY25 now that all companies are releasing their FY25 results and it's over, and probably also try and extrapolate FY26 as we are already in it 1.5 months in FY26, right? In terms of LM is Beeline Capital. So with that, Tanmay, over to you to talk about Boruna.
Is my voice clear?
Yes.
So, Borana Views Limited is a Surat-based textile manufacturer specializing in the production of unbleached synthetic gray fabric. So, what they do is they just take the POY yarn, polyester yarn. Likely they would be taking from they are sourcing it from Silvassa. Silvassa में दो ही बड़ी companies है. One is Alok Industries owned by Reliance, and second is the Bhilosa Industries. Okay, so what these guys do is they take the POY yarn or the PTY yarn, polyester oriented yarn or polyester textured yarn. They do the texturizing, they do the warping, and then they do the water jet looming. Okay, and then do the quality testing, और फिर उसका बड़ा roll बन के then they distribute it to traders, distributors, the companies which will do the further processing of dyeing, bleaching, or the textile making. So this company has three plants. All are located in GIDC Surat in Hojiwala Industrial Estate. Okay. So this company has 15 texturizing machines, six warping machines, and 700 water jet, looming machines, and 10 folding machines. So this company is raising 145 crores, completely fresh issue, out of which they will allocate 71.3 crores for a new manufacturing unit, which is located in the similar geography, okay, in the Hojiwala industrial estate, and it will expand they will expand their production capacity. So this new unit is expected to get operationalized in November, December of 2025, okay, current calendar year, and they will be allocating 26.5 crores for working capital, and rest 48 crore is GCP. Okay, so this company currently has a production capacity of 23.3 meters per annum. Okay, and the company is adding 11.27 crore MPA. So mota moti they are adding 32 to 33% additional capacity, means one third only. Uh, if I just talk on the existing facilities, they are running all their three facilities combinedly at aggregatively 80% capacity utilization. If I come on its financials, in FY23 they did a revenue of 135 crores and a PAT of 16.3 crores. Okay, in FY24 they did a revenue of almost 200 crores and PAT of 23.6 crores, and in 9 months they have already crossed their FY24 numbers and done 215.7 crores, and PAT also of like 29.3 crores, which is a bit boosted on the PAT margin level. The company has the borrowings of 54 crores. The company and the valuation of the IPO is at 575 crores. So if I just talk on the valuation part, on FY24 it is coming at 24.4 times, and on FY25, TTM, or just extrapolating the numbers, so it's coming at 14 times approximately. Now, see, in this company, by the way, this company is a part of the Borana group, okay, which already has one company which is already listed, which was once a SME listed company, then migrated into Mainboard, called as R and B Denims, okay. I guess 700-800 crore के आसपास का market cap है इनका. Uh, so, one good thing in this company is जो object of the issue, which is primarily to open a new production facility. The construction has already is in the advanced stages, and just the final stage and the machine installation, and that is remaining. So it will not take the usual time where the companies take like 12, 15, 18 months to operationalize the facility. So I feel मोटा मोटी 5-6 महीने में they should come up start production in the new facility. So actually, I had a chance also to visit the company. So what I felt in the company is everything is good, the people are good. Just I have some concerns on its margins. I don't know. Yeah, 33-34% gross margins कैसे maintain करेंगे, because very large players. I'm not talking about in this gray fabric only, but even if I talk on the general companies in the textile segment, they do 18% to mota moti 25-27% gross margins. So this company is at that uppermost stage of doing 33-34% gross margins. But what I saw is the operational expenses of this company are quite lower than the peers, which was observed in the balance sheet also. So this means that the company has some good uh, machinery and not I won't say automation, but good machine line. So the intervention of the manpower seems to be quite low. Hence, the company has lower OPEX, so it is operating on higher gross margins, is what the feeling comes when you see the balance sheet and the management explanation. So I feel I hope that these margins are sustainable and seeing the multiples, its peers at see first of all the company has shown that we don't have any directly comparable listed peers, so I doubt on that part. But this might be on the back of the specialized this gray fabric segment. The company might try to say ki in the gray fabric market at standalone level, we don't have any kind of peers, but I feel that you can compare this with related companies. So they are trading in between 15 to 30 times. So this company is coming at roughly 14 times FY25. And if I just extrapolate the numbers for FY20, considering the new facility and the December to March one, which is like 4 months. So it's coming at like 8 to 9 times FY26, and peers are trading at roughly I would say 12 to 14 times, 12 13 times. Sanat a company, a large company like Sanathan is also trading at like 12 13 times 26. So what I feel is the gross margins. I hope they sustain, but I have some slight doubt on that. And even in the IPO meet, the management was not able to give such good answer to that. They said, ki, "Oh, we are 4 or 5 major players, so we have some unique pricing." And one good thing in this company is the complete production is demand based and not कि हमने बना लिया वेयर हाउस में डाल लिया फिर उसके बाद कस्टमर आके लेके जाएगा नॉट दैट वे so what they do is कि जैसा demand आएगा so in that sense they will sell, so they don't have that warehousing. And actually one good thing is companies don't even have the warehouse only. Okay, they don't have any kind of warehouse, so everything is made on demand. One more good thing in the company is that they don't have any kind of litigations, not on the company or not on the promoters. A small thing on the independent directors, or I feel one of the board of directors has some small case, but 15-20 lakh ka hai, and that has nothing to do with the company. So uh, it's like almost done कि that company has no litigations, and the cash flows are they are positive but not as per expectations. They could have been more better, but ठीक है, not concerning I would say. Decent से cash flows है. Net worth is like मोटा मोटी 75 crores. So I feel decentish company, good margin profile is on very good side. Okay, so I feel what I would personally do is I would apply and get those 15, 20, 25% gains on higher side and just exit is what my strategy is. I feel कि इसमें बहुत ज्यादा बड़े listing gains तो नहीं मिलने पहले वो तो allotment will be extremely tough. Second thing is retail is 10%. Anchor book should have those in general names only. I don't feel you will see some big any kind of big name. So I would just prefer to go for that 15-20% listing gain and just exit. That is my view on this IPO.
Got it. Thanks, Tanmay. सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन तो मे बी डू यू वांट टू एक्सप्लेन कि ये 10% रिटेल क्यों है, क्योंकि प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनी है राइट फॉर द लास्ट 3 इयर्स, तो फिर भी 10% रिटेल क्यों है?
See, what I feel likely there are two reasons. I feel 90% in these two reasons only. One should be valid. First is the limited track record of the company. The company has incorporated in 2020. Okay, but the company has started operations in 2021. I feel ऐसा कुछ नियम है कि 5 साल का track record होना चाहिए as per me. Actually, in the ICDR regulation, there are 18, 19 things. Okay, so this is likely to be one of them. And but I would say one thing that this group was started in 2005 and they have good track record. But for this, especially the company which is going for a listing is started in 2020, and first the revenue was started in 2021, and this might be the first reason. The second reason is it is required that the net worth should be 25 crore or plus for the preceding 3 years. So I feel उसमें कुछ हो सकता है, but in few cases it's written कि सिर्फ IPO के साल है उससे पहले 25 होना चाहिए. But if that is the first thing is right कि पहले 3 साल में means what I mean is कि FY22 में अगर 25 करोड़ ना which is very likely because the company just started the operations in 21, तो FY22 में मोटा मोटी नेटवर्क तो 25 करोड़ होना बहुत मुश्किल है. So I feel 90% cases ये दोनों में से एक रीजन होना चाहिए. So like why retail is 10%.
Got it. Thanks. Second thing, just want to highlight, this is a very small size IPO, right? Around 144 crore का मेन बोर्ड IPO है. तो रिटेल 10% है, HNI around 15% है. So in itself, just 35-40 CR is what is with the retail and HNIs, right? And there would be a lot of QIP allocation as well. I feel इसमें allotment tough रहेगा, especially if the GMP even stays at like 20% and Belrise continues to fall. So this is where a lot of people would be going. I would personally skip this and target Belrise. For now, I really like Belrise. We'll talk about it maybe during the review. But yeah, that is what my review was. And as Tanmay also mentioned, ankle list also I'm thinking should be a very SME sort of ankle list only. Shouldn't be super something out of the world, because again it's a very small size main board IPO, right? So small size main board IPOs में company like mutual funds वगैरह are not that interested, right? But I still think they should give some gains because of just the very limited float that it has, but not expecting anything crazy in terms of like let's say a Mamta machinery sort of the world or something like that. Should do fairly average because majorly textile sector doesn't tend to do that well per se and doesn't tend to enjoy that high of a PE. So with that we have covered Borana Weaves, and we'll kind of move to the one last company that we are left with, which is Belrise Industries, and this is something which I like. We'll talk about it, but yeah, the setting up company, Belrise. Belrise is a manufactures automotive sheet metals, casting parts, polymers, component suspension, and mirror systems. Essentially, all the auto parts for two wheelers, three wheelers, and four wheelers, passenger and commercial vehicles. It's an auto part company. Think of like let's say a Minda, Minda Industries sort of the world, Motherson, Sumi, etc. So it's a peer to those. It's a very established company, been in the system for long. Just setting up the IPO. It's a 2150 CR IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. 2150 crore company raise कर रही है at a market cap of 8009 crores. In terms of the financials, it's FY24 financials. They did 7,500 crores of revenue and 352 crores of bottom line. इनने 350 crore का revenue bottom line किया. So they are coming again at like 23, 24 FY24. FY25 we'll talk about, and also FY26. In terms of the LM, the LMs are Axis, HSBC, Jefferies, and SBI Capital. It's a big size IPO, essentially considering that it's a revival of market of some sort. So 2150 is a decent size IPO, not huge but not small for sure as well. So definitely interesting. Maybe Tanmay, do you want to go ahead and talk about the company, and then I can add anything towards it.
First of all, I already said 20% what I was going to say, मेरे लिए बहुत कम रखा है आपने इसमें. So see, Belrise Industries Limited. First of all, the name of the company has been changed recently. First, this was erstwhile known as Badwe Engineering. Now, how this Belrise Industries name came is BEL, Badwe Engineering Limited, BEL, and uska Rise. So the management is saying now this is the time for rise of Badwe Engineering Limited. So they have kept their name as Belrise, which sounds quite good. Okay. So this is Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, erstwhile known as Aurangabad-based automotive component manufacturer for two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, commercial vehicles, agri-vehicles, electrical vehicles. Okay. So it is one of the top three component manufacturer with 24% market share in the two-wheeler metal component segment. I'll just tell you now the product portfolio. Its product portfolio consists of metal chassis systems, polymer components, suspension systems, body-in-white components, exhaust systems, and small portfolio. This company also has a small portfolio for white goods. Okay, so it supplies some polymer-based products and sheet metal components for this for LG Electronics. Okay, in specifically the AC and cooler segment. Okay, it has some small portion, I guess 2-3% revenue. This company overall has 1,000 plus distinct components portfolio. So I'll just tell you the clients list also. So this company currently has 27, 28 clients, out of which in the RHP just four names are mentioned. That might the reason might be that the company has not got the NOC, non-objection certificate from the rest companies, but on the website they have mentioned all. I would say 23 of the 27, 28 clients. So I'll just list out some of their clients. The largest client is Bajaj Auto, okay, which is like 18-19% of the revenue. Then Honda, Motors, Hero MotoCorp, Jaguar Land Rover, Royal Enfield, which is Eicher Motors, Tata Motors, TVS, TAFE, Excite, Volkswagen, Tenneco, M&M, Bharat Benz, Fiat, Emerson, and in the electronic segment, it's LG. So the company is raising 2,150 crores out of completely a fresh issue of such a large IPO after a long time, which has been completely a fresh issue. Out of 2150, they will repay the debt of 1618 crore, and rest 532 crores will be general corporate purposes. If I just talk on the debt part, the company has approx 2600 crore gross debt. Okay, and if I just tell you the average interest cost, so which is like 9.8%, the company has almost 75 loans. Okay, different 75 loans, out of which they would repay many of those. So this clearly states that almost 150 crores will straight go into the bottom line of the company, even actually more than that. Like it should be close to 155 to 160 crores. Straight it will go into the PAT. Okay, as company will reduce its interest cost. And now let's come on the financials. In FY23, the company did a revenue of 6,620 crores and the PAT of 314 crores, where EBITDA margin was 13.6%. In FY24, the revenue increased to 7,555 crores and PAT degrew by 1%, which is like FY23 they did 313.7 crore PAT, FY24 they did 311. So 8% का degrowth in PAT, but the EBITDA margin dropped from 13.6 to 12.5%. Okay, in first 9 months, the company has did 6,065 crores of top line, and PAT is like 245 crores, and the EBITDA margin is close to 12.8%. If I just check the YOY growth for first 9 months, it is like less than even 1%, so 0.8% top line growth, and bottom line actually has been gone down. So the company is coming at a market cap of 8,009 crores, matlab, almost $1 billion only. If I just say $950 million close to market cap, so it is quite large. On FY25, it is priced at 25.8 times, and on FY25 like TTM basis, it's like 24.5 times. Okay, FY24 at 25.8 and FY25 at 24.8 times TTM, मतलब मोटा मोटी 25 टाइम पे आ रहा है. If I just say in the correct. So now what I'll just tell you the growth levers and regarding its facilities, okay, manufacturing facilities. So the company has 17 facilities in 10 cities in 9 states. So out of this 17, 7 are located in Maharashtra and बाकी फिर 8 states में उनके 9 facilities है. Okay, and the company has processed 60,000 plus tons of steel in manufacturing those कंपोनेंट्स. So you can just understand कि मोटा मोटी 7,500 करोड़ का टर्नओवर, 60,000 टन का स्टील कंजम्पशन, तो व्हाट इज द स्केल ऑफ द कंपनी. सो इट्स वेरी वेरी लार्ज, well established company. Uh, and the company is adding one more facility in Chennai, which is, actually there was a, IPO meet in Ahmedabad also today, and even I guess in Bombay also in the evening, maybe meeting is still going on. But, some of the representatives had asked कि Chennai का facility कब चालू होगा. So management has said कि due to SEBI regulations we cannot set, but I felt कि उन्होंने बता देना चाहिए था. So we don't have the timeline. When will the Chennai facility start operations, and we also don't know कि उसका क्या capacity है for what they are doing. So we don't have those details. Uh, one good interesting thing now, actually first question arises after all this explanation is कि भाई सब तो अच्छा है, growth किधर है. This has been a very genuine question because in FY23 they've managed to grow at like 23%. Where FY24 में they have grown like almost like 14-15%, and first 9 months the company has shown a degrowth. One more thing I would mention is कि in last year, okay, FY24 in the first 9 months, out of 6,600 crore revenue, sorry, out of 7,500 crore of revenue, the company did almost like 6,200, 6,100 crore revenue. मतलब जो last quarter है उसमें the company's last quarter is a bit weaker. Okay. Uh, and the company has, is almost like flat, 1% growth in, not even 1%, 0.8% in the first 9 months. So if I just say कि इसका, साल का same, so the company will actually degrow by like मोटा मोटी 1%. So hoping that जो last year का Q4 था, the same is not for Q4, and it's highly possible. Last time Q4 वो थोड़ा सा Q3 Q4 में automotive companies में थोड़ा सा था, तो I feel that might be the one-time implication that should not continue, but we don't know that. That is a future-looking statement which not I know or not anyone on this panel or the viewers knows. So one good thing to note and interesting thing also is कि the company has done one acquisition just 1 month before the IPO, which was H1 India Private Limited. This is the Indian unit of the Japanese listed H1 Global, okay, which is like a very, very large MNC. So in RHP, the figures are not available, okay. But one of our representative had asked this question in the Ahmedabad IPO investor meet. So the from the company, it has came that the revenue for H1 India in FY 25 or 24, I don't know what number, which year it was, but they said कि 500 crore के आसपास का revenue है. Okay, and the margins they did not reply, but they said कि almost like similar margin profile रहेगा. But one thing to say is that if I just consider कि 13% EBITDA margin on a lower side, but the PAT will be of course higher because this company has a lot of debt and depreciation. I don't feel H1 India का इतना होगा, so I feel it is growing at like almost like 9% PAT margin is what I personally feel. I can be surely wrong. So I feel कि मोटा मोटी they do 40 crores of a PAT. Okay, H1 India and कितने में लिया वो भी it's not disclosed. And one more thing is that the company has acquired one more polymer compound बनाने वाला company who does like close to 200 to 50 crores of revenue, but इसका भी जिक्र RHP में नहीं है, and not even on Google it's available in any sorts of articles. I just checked. I don't know if it's available, but मुझे तो नहीं मिला. So this also has almost similar margin profile. So we don't have much details onto it, but why I have said this is कि जो in FY 26 when we say कि growth नहीं है, okay, this 750 crores will directly go into the almost like 7500 crore of a टॉप लाइन. सो 10% ग्रोथ तो इनऑर्गेनिकली आ जाएगा, इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से हियर. इसकी अगर कुछ भी कंपनी ने किया 10% ग्रोथ तो अपने आप आ जाएगा विथ अ बिट बेटर मार्जिन प्रोफाइल ऑल्सो. एंड थोड़ा सा आपको पता है व्हेन द कंपनी द एक्वायर्ड एंटिटीज जापानीज वन, तो उसका बैलेंस शीट अच्छा रहेगा, उसका प्लांट बहुत जबरदस्त रहेगा, एंड द प्रोडक्ट प्रोफाइल, क्रिटिकलिटी, सम पेटर्न्स, तो वो सारी चीजें तो वी एवरीवन नो कि जापानीज कंपनीज ऑपरेट एट वेरी गुड क्वालिटी. सो दैट विल आल्सो शुड शो अप इनटू द कंपनीज कैपेबिलिटीज. थोड़ा बहुत तो आई फील इंक्रीमेंटल चेंज तो आना चाहिए. Now, let's actually one more good thing is कि the company has the largest presence. This company has in Sambhajinagar, okay, and Aurangabad. So you know कि Aether का भी बहुत बड़ा expansion is coming in Aurangabad, and I feel company is doing something towards that. But you still know कि SEBI regulations है, so company cannot tell it very vocally, but they are doing something for Aether also, which will kick now one will say Aether से कितना फर्क पड़ेगा, yes, बहुत पड़ेगा because उनका फैसिलिटी में से 5 किलोमीटर का फर्क है. एंड औरंगाबाद, द गाइस हु नोस दिस सिटी, इट्स नियर दिस दिस एक घाट है वहाँ पे, ओके. सो फॉर देयर लॉजिस्टिक्स का जो कॉस्ट होता है स्पेशली फॉर दिस सिटी इज अ बिट ऑन हायर साइड, ओके. सो वहाँ पे एक बड़ा घाट है, तो वहाँ पे रेगुलर थोड़ा सा एक्सीडेंट्स वगैरह होते रहते हैं, and शाम में यू कैन नॉट ट्रेवल मच वोकली. तो आई एम जस्ट सेइंग बिकॉज आई लिव देयर, तो मुझे पता है वहाँ पे, आई लिव अराउंड दैट एरिया ओनली. तो वहाँ पे लॉजिस्टिक्स का कॉस्ट एक कंपैरेटिवली हायर होता है. सो इफ एथर इज सेइंग कि मेरे को 5 किलोमीटर केस में अगर ये मिल रहा है, and this company's capabilities are very very strong, okay, Belrise Industries ka. So I feel that will also bring some synergy, and that will also kick fuel some further growth. This company has a good EV portfolio also. They are already supplying to Bajaj, Chetak also. So if I just not just coming on its negatives, 18% revenues from the single client, which is Bajaj Auto. So it's not negative, but a factor which should be told to the investors. Second, which I feel is a negative, but I don't know what explanation or what thesis this has कि 25-26% revenue comes from related parties. Okay. Now, अभी ये कैसे क्या transactions है, and it is also possible कि the related parties that entity takes like 2-3-4% whatever margin it commands, and it just sells to some other entities, which is fine. But uh, we don't have a crystal clear conversation or commentary on this. So hoping that it will be covered in the interviews which will be taken next week or मंडे ट्यूसडे को हो जाने चाहिए. This is the second thing. And third is कि बहुत ही छोटा है कि this company has some tax and criminal proceedings, 20-30 cases है, but the aggregative amount is 23 crore. So यार बहुत पुरानी कंपनी है, मतलब तो 23 करोड़ is not that great. So it is just नाम का negative है, काम का नहीं है. So even if we ignore, it's okay. Uh, so, but just not talk on a high level. Actually, this company I know since childhood because I am in from that region, and this is a big name. Okay, very very reputed company. So a very large scale one. So what I feel is कि जो valuations at what the company is coming is quite attractive. Its peers are trading between 30 times to 70 times. Okay, now players like Bharat Forge are trading at like 65, 70 multiples, and players like Minda Corporation are trading at 35 multiples. Okay, and the growth, if I just do the combined growth of the peers, that will outperform this company by I would say 3-4% mota moti. Like 16-17% has been the last 3 year or 5 year CAGR for the rest companies combined, and this company is doing at I would say 16.5%. That is like 18% if I'm not wrong. हाँ, तो that five are doing 18% at average, and this is doing 16.5, 17%. So there's a small dent, but if it just factored in the FY26 growth, which is like 10 to 11% inorganic growth plus 10% natural growth, like जो कंपनी कभी भी 10-15% 14% ग्रोथ कर रहा है वो 10% तो कर ही देगी. दैट्स अ फेयर assumption I feel. So मोटा मोटी 20-22% का कंसोल ग्रोथ आना चाहिए. So this company can do like almost like 9500 crores of a top line FY26. It's not in any kind of number which is given to management, but that's very very fair assumption क्योंकि दो companies का जो acquired है that will get consolidated, and the organic 10% growth 10% बहुत higher, so we are not quoting, but this 10% is a very very reasonable expectation. And this FY25 has been slightly downturn on the automotive, this automobile segment. So थोड़ा सा FY25 में dent है growth में. I feel they will still manage to close it flat or a bit high, hoping that they will not degrow. But FY26 should be fairly good on the back of acquisitions, inorganic growth. The new Chennai capacity वो भी है. We don't know वो कितना है, but उसमें से भी I feel 2-3% तो कुछ ना कुछ तो आ ही जाएगा. Hoping. So overall I feel next year तो ये 20% 18-20% growth आराम से मार देगा. So I feel market will not से कि यार दूसरे तो 17-18% ग्रो कर रहे हैं तो 12 ही कर रहा है तो उनको 40 देंगे तो उनको 20 ही मल्टीपल देंगे. दिस शुड नॉट हैपन, एंड देयर शुड बी सम पैरिटी. So overall, I feel कि FY20, and just telling the numbers also at PAT level, okay, because calculating numbers for such companies is not that tough. But just say कि 9500 crore का मोटा मोटी ये टर्नओवर करना चाहिए, okay, 9000 9500. So PAT will come at minimum 500 crores because 350 तो कर ही रहा है. Almost like 90-100 crores का interest cost बचाएगा from this rest 9 months and the one time bank payment. So 90-100 crore बचा लेगा, and न्यू फैसिलिटी उसका H1 इंडिया का 30-35 करोड़ का पैट आ जाएगा. दूसरे का अज्यूमिंग 250-200 करोड़ है तो 5% तो बनाता ही होगा, उसका भी 10-15 करोड़ आ जाएगा. सो ऑलमोस्ट इफ आई टॉक ऑन दिस, the company is poised to do 500 crore of a bottom line PAT at very conservative level in FY26. So on that numbers, it's priced at 16 times, okay, 1616. And the peers are trading at roughly 30 times to 50 times FY26. So I feel this should at least get that, 23, 24, 25 का multiple 26 का मिलना चाहिए. So what I feel, it should deliver some decent listing gains, like 20% kind of a thing, is what my understanding and read of the company is. And and one more thing is like 90 रुपए का price band है. Float has been quite good because 35% retail है, so it will not move very very smoothly. तो liquidity का तो आते रहेगा. And one more thing is कि majority of the mutual funds or the institutions in India are invested in some of a kind of automotive, just like often the shareholding of Bharat Forge or Uno Minda or Minda Corp or ASK or some Mother Sonsum. So all are invested in quite large set of automotive component players. So this is one more for them. Okay. So I don't feel कि many mutual funds will hold it for very very long term. So it's not कि just retailer से ही liquidation आएगा. Liquidation, what I mean by liquidation is कि sell off आएगा. Even at institutional level after the anchor lock-ins and all that QIB part, I feel decent selling will come in the market. So ये बहुत smoothly नहीं चलेगा, but in long term it will surely do well. But my stance here is कि I am not of a person who likes to keep much in automotive segment for longer term. Not I'm not much fascinated towards the sector, but I know this company since childhood. It's a very very reputed, solid company, very very good brand, and the promoter has a lot of credibility in the region they live. So I feel it can be applied for I would say reasonable listing gains. And even if if no one if a person has no exposure towards automotive sector or wants to have something, this is a good company to have. So this is overall, I am positive of the company, but yes, one thing, a macroeconomic factor has just happened today morning that Moody's has downgraded US credit rating, and last time we saw this in 2011 when Nasdaq it has fall by 6-7%. So if that, I'm not saying 6-7%, but the markets have moved much to it. But अगर even 2-3% cut है, so one third उसका one third one fourth effect to Indian market पे भी आएगा. But we can see some volatility in the subscriptions or the investor interest also. So we don't know ये किधर जाएगा. But I don't feel that in this will list in discount at any case. मुझे तो नहीं लगता personally, can be surely wrong. So I feel it can be applied. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ये 5% 10% खोलेगा. But I'm saying on the lower side. Okay, worst case should be that. But I don't feel it will list in discount. So the people who are ready to have like 5-10% and can skip the other SMEs can surely go into this. And just those who have quite a lot of money can surely participate in this IPO.
Got it. Thanks, Tanmay. Abhi, just want to highlight also, we are slightly away from the issue. We are still waiting for interviews. We are still waiting for anchor list. वो देखते हैं कैसी आती है. I kind of disagree with the pointer कि mutual funds would not want to hold it. I think this is their sector. This will be a mutual fund stock. I feel like आप una Minda Industries देखो 94%, 6% retail holding है उसमें. I think it will have similar. Mutual funds will लाइक द प्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी की पता है कि चलो डेब्ट रिड्यूस होगी ही होगी अगली जो अपनी एक्विजिशन है वो हो ही गई है सो शुड हैव लाइक अ 500 CR बॉटम लाइन सो इट्स अवेलेबल प्रीटी चीप राइट अगर आप आईपीओ पे देखो तो अराउंड 15-16 टाइम पे मिल रहा है गुड नेम सो आई थिंक शुड डू प्रीटी वेल I feel that listing gains also, I'm not 100% sure, but should give some listing gains. I would definitely be applying. This would be my priority one amongst all the companies we spoke about. Because again, मेरे को लगता है कि इसी में एक decent chance है to get some subscription. And I don't think it will list at negative at all. But yeah, let's see how next week's market goes. We'll still have time, right? इसका subscription कब बंद हो रहा है? I think it's closing on Friday. So we'll have 5 days. Let's see how what the market subscription etc. says. What how the interviews. If we find any more information from interviews and how the subscription moves, maybe we'll also post what we are planning to do to this IPO. But yeah, I feel GMP probably is not a true indicator. At least like if it falls further. So let's see how it evolves. But yeah, kind of like the company for what it does and would definitely apply to hold for some time. That's my individual view. With that, we can kind of close the space. I have a couple of questions which I want to take. उससे पहले just want to highlight anything else that do you have on Belrise or we can move to a couple of
I'll
the
add one point. Okay, so what I saw very good in this company is कि ऐसा कभी भी सुनने में नहीं आया कि the company wants to reduce the IPO size. Okay, it was even expected to come last month itself, just before the India Pakistan thing. Okay, so and the company did not hesitate and जितना file किया उतना they just bought the IPO and the ground report has been quite good. कि there's a good demand from the institution. So इट्स नॉट कि भाई 2150 फाइल करा है 20% से भी बता रहा है कि 20% हम कम कर सकते हैं चलो 1700 कर देते हैं लिस्टिंग जैसा होगा वैसे लिस्टिंग करा देते हैं लेट्स list and just decrease our debt by 1400 from which we were aspiring to do like 1700 so it's not that case what this means is ki the demand has been quite great and I feel it should be because the company is very good. I know this company is a childhood, very, very reputed company. So I feel they should get a good institutional traction, and I also expect that the anchor book should be extremely, extremely good.
got it. Yep. But again, want to critically highlight that this is not your premier energies of the world or something like this would grow at a very tepid pace. एक predictability रहेगी business में comparatively, which is why I'm saying this will be a mutual fund stock end of the day. Retail तो बेच के निकल जाएगा comparatively, but
Actually,
still
no,
it
sir.
should give some.
Actually, we both had a similar discussion कि यार ये retailer वाला stock नहीं है, ये institutional वाला stock है. We just had this discussion 3-4 hours back. So and I agree to that point. यार ये ना retailer का stock ही नहीं है. This is like we saw this one IPO coming like I would say 6 to 8 months. So the ASK Automotive. On paper it looks like it was highly priced, but actually it was priced at a good valuation. But it has just like grown 30-40% in like 8 months, last 8 months. That was also a very pretty good quality company, and I love that promoter, Mr. Kulwant Singh. So good promoter, but that was a similar case. अभी भी वही हो रहा है. Majority of the holding is with the institutions. The retailers are just exited, and companies posted three quarter results after the listing, and all three results have been extremely superb. So this sector is not that retailer, interesting sector, but eventually these companies don't disappoint. 80% of the automotive components companies do well in longer term, but let's hope कि जिनको कम patience है they will also get some short term rewards.
Yep, yep. But definitely, if you think that you want some more, like consistent cash flows, consistent PAT sort of companies where you can be sure that they will at least give you something per se after a year, um, can look at this company as well. And in the short term also, I kind of
And
like this
I'll add one more
company.
point, which was actually quite good, and I feel that should be covered, well respected towards the company. This company is completely bootstrapped. Okay, so a single rupee hasn't came via private equity or equity sale or whatever. 100% bootstrap company. The promoter has built it from ground zero without taking an external money. Yes, that is always there, but that is not an external money. It's just a form of doing growth via funding it by doing the business growth and the internal accrual. So making $1 billion ऑलमोस्ट अभी चल हो गया FY 26 में तो वर्स्ट टू वर्स्ट की गिरी से गिरी हालत में $1 billion का रेवेन्यू करेगा ये. So building a $1 billion revenue company in just like 20 years, but completely bootstrapping is, you know, that is, I feel that should get the respect. So this is a point which should, surely, investors should keep in the mind while keeping that the promoter quality is quite good.
Yep, yep, agreed. Definitely interested in this company. I hope subscription remains low. GMP remains at like 3, 4, 5% so that we are able to get some subscription. Uh, Hopefully, 1x CEO for big HNI, but yeah, seems difficult right now. I don't know like how it will evolve. I personally again feel Moody's Walla also is just a non-issue. It's not something which would market doesn't repeat itself. So I think it would be covered. Like it would be a history in 2 3 days. But yeah, let's see how market evolves. उसकी वजह से maybe there's some pressure on GMP. We'll figure out closer to the date. Maybe Tanmay will also keep posting with that. We'll close this. I have a couple of questions, Tanmay, and this is for Dar Capital जो हमने पहले किया था. उसमें there are some new regulations with respect to collections in a few states, right? Like Tamil Nadu. You had asked this question, right? What was the response with respect to that?
Actually, I asked this question to the management, and they confidently said कि yes, you are correct, but इसमें they said they gave two different explanations कि बोले पहला है कि यार product segment which I have already told you कि that is into this municipality related this four plus employees, so उनको एक छोटे size का देते हैं. They said कि उसमें there is no issue in this, but second I feel is more valid and new, which should be discussed here is कि the geographical risk. Okay, more issues in this is with this Tamil Nadu, sorry, not Tamil Nadu, Karnataka में थोड़ा सा इसका है, okay, and there have been some tensions in this Bihar वाला region and this north of Uttar Pradesh and थोड़ा कर्नाटक थोड़ा तमिल नाडु में भी थोड़ा सा issue है ये, but in all this they have a small exposure in Rajasthan जहाँ पे अभी तो कुछ as per my knowledge issues नहीं है, and 50% portfolio is into West Bengal, and West Bengal Rajasthan is like 70% and बाकी it's distributed. So एज पर में कर्नाटका तो इनका कोई एक्सपोजर है ही नहीं, अभी होगा तो बहुत ही मिनिमल होगा लाइक 6%. सो आई डोंट फील कि इसमें वो आया, एंड आई फील द मैनेजमेंट द कलेक्शन एफिशिएंसी है, जो मैनेजमेंट जो उनका क्वालिफिकेशन है एंड ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, एंड लाइक इट्स नॉट अ 7 year old कंपनी, इट्स 27 year old कंपनी. सो 27 साल में they have seen all the they have drank all the waters. So I feel they should tackle that in a good sense.
Got it. Second question again for you, Tanmay, is ki, let's say if markets remain stable, any insights or sneak peek into what all IPOs can we expect per se over the next 1 month, 2 months? I know
Uh,
Leela is in
1 month 2
prime,
month
but
तो इज अ
anything else?
बिग टेन्योर. हो गए 1-2 महीने में आई फील 15 आईपीओ तो आ ही जाएंगे, 10 से 15 इन मेन बोर्ड. आई एम सेइंग ऐसे में तो 20 तो होने चाहिए कम से कम.
SME तो it's like उसी दिन
एसएमई
पता चलता है कि
एसएमई
इतने सारे होते हैं.
वी ऑलरेडी नो कि अगले हफ्ते कौन सा आ रहा है, उसके अगले हफ्ते कौन सा आ रहा है. देयर आर बीन कॉल्स फ्रॉम प्रमोटर, सर जल्दी जल्दी हमको एंकर बुक रेस करना है, जल्दी जल्दी आईपीओ करना है. अच्छी डेट्स बताओ. So this has been from the last week. So I am Mainboard. What I know is कि this month only we can see two more IPOs which haven't been declared. Of course, one everyone knows is the Leela Hotels. And as per me, जो मुझे information मिला, थोड़ा सा issue size भी कम करके आ रहे हैं, valuation sweet करके आ रहे हैं. But end of the day, 1200 crore revenue, 14-15 हजार वैल्यूएशन मेरे को वेंटू मिल रहा है. 17 हजार है, 2000 crore रेवेन्यू. सो लेट्स कीप दैट असाइड. बट लीला आ रहा है, दैट्स अ बिग रीजन. 5000 है तो व्हाट दे कैन डू इज 50 टका ओएफएस काट सकते हैं और 20 टका फ्रेश काट सकते हैं. सो मोटा मोटी लाइक 2400 एंड उसका दो का मतलब 24 मतलब 3400 का तो उनको मिनिमम लाना ही पड़ेगा. उसके नीचे तो रेगुलेशन जा ही नहीं सकते. तो 3400 सबसे कम एंड 5500 ऑन हायर्स. बट आई फील मोटा मोटी 3500 4000 करोड़ के आसपास तो आना चाहिए. उससे ज्यादा है इट्स वेल एंड गुड. अलॉटमेंट सबको मिलेगा. 10% रिटेल है उसमें. But this one more small IPO 250 crores का. दिस इज द पावर वाला चीज में है वो. प्रोस्टाम करके. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो एक्सपेक्टेड. So and SME, this blue water is expected to get declared in next couple of days. एंड तो एसएमई तो बहुत सारे हैं मेरे दिमाग में 5-6 आ गए. सो नॉट लेट्स नॉट गो इनटू एसएमईज. बट हाँ, मेन बोर्ड ये दो है. एंड नेक्स्ट मंथ वी कैन सी सबसे पहले तो ये आएगा पारस. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दिस बाय क्रोनोलॉजी, बाय द हाईएस्ट प्रोबेबिलिटी आप सही. पारस हेल्थ केयर आना चाहिए. एरिस आना चाहिए. उसके बाद एलनबरी इंडस्ट्रियल गैसेस वेरी लाइकली. उसके बाद ब्रिगेड होटल एंटरप्राइजेस में शेयर होल्डर कोटा भी है. One more can be Vikram Solar, maybe, might be possible. I'm not sure, but it was expected to go into March, April का segment वाले में आ गए. तो I feel उनका capex plan भी, so they should go. उनको घाई तो हो गया IPO की. अगेन और क्या है यार. और तो है मतलब एक दो नाम तो है. और दिस एक एजुकेशन वाला भी कंपनी है जारो करके. दैट माइट आल्सो गो. सो actually the pipeline is like almost of 40 companies, okay, which are almost ready. इनका RHP बना हुआ है. उनको सिर्फ नाम डालना है. So this is what the sense of the majority IPO bound companies. So hoping that we are seeing good traction in the coming, and even this month also. ये मैं this month also should be quite good for IPO investors. What I feel, चार में से एक ना एक जगह तो पैसा बनना चाहिए अच्छा वाला.
Got it. Understood. Makes sense. Yeah, I also hope the same. I would still hope on Belrise considering the allotment chances should be good. But yeah, let's see. We'll continue to post about this. We have kind of covered the three companies, went longer than what I would have expected it to. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to write in chat. We'll cover some of them. आपने अगर YouTube चैनल ज्वाइन नहीं किया तो ऊपर पिन कमेंट में यूट्यूब चैनल का लिंक है, वहां पे हम ये स्पेस डाल देंगे. सो यू कैन लिसन टू दिस एट योर ओन लेजर. विद दिस हैव अ गुड नेक्स्ट वीक होपफुली.
We'll
थैंक
also
यू.
post our final written verdicts or reviews on these companies, so make sure you read those. 99.9% को change नहीं होगा. I'm not saying on the decision part. I'm saying the explanation part. Decision तो वही रहेगा. So if there is any change, please go through. But ideally, likely there will be no change. But that will be more in depth and more into written. So वो जल्दी दिमाग में आता है. When we speak ज़्यादा याद नहीं रहता है. So make sure that you also go into this. And the people who have joined late or missed some part, this will get uploaded on our YouTube channel. So make sure you follow that.
Thank you all. Bye.